Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to talk about Dembele and Xavi Hernandez. These are going to be the two people that we are going to be revolving around. And these two people have been spoken about very frequently and consistently through the media, and that is because of many reasons. For Dembele, it is because of what he has shown in that match against Dinamo Kiev. We saw how dynamic he actually was. And when we did see Dembele's performance with Barcelona and the way that he performed, many of us were asking, how could we possibly lose this player? How can we possibly let Dembele go in the summer of 2022? We have to lock down this player. So we are going to be speaking about that. And then as for Xavi, he has been spoken about a lot, mainly because he is in the process of moving to Barcelona. So if you guys do want to skip certain segments within this video, you guys can check on the timeline right there. Everything is basically chopped up. If you guys want to just go straight to the Xavi Hernandez news or just listen to the Dembele news, you guys will be able to do that in the timeline down below. But let's first start with Dembele. And it says here, according to Gabriel Sanz, Dembele is ready to renew, even if he has to reduce his fixed salary, although he wants to be compensated based on variables. He has asked his agent to reach a mutual agreement with the club to renew. The talks between the parties are much more fluid now. So there has been stories before basically stating that the player might turn his back on Barcelona because he might be asking for more money. There was all of these narratives, but just like, let's say, Xavi Hernandez or Memphis Depay, this is a player, Dembele, who wants to stay at Barcelona. And the only reason why he wants to stay at Barcelona and make it easy when it comes to the negotiations, it is because he wants to make something happen. He does want to build something truly special. And there has also been other reports stating how the agent was making it very complicated in the beginning because he wanted to reach a better contract for his player, which does make sense because you are an agent, you are supposed to be the representative of Dembele and get the best contract possible. But Dembele has informed towards his agent that he wants everything to go easy. He does not want anything to be complicated because he wants to stay only at Barcelona and he wants to make this happen as soon as possible. And then Gabriel Sanz continues to say, there are regular contacts now between Dembele's agent and Barcelona, who are much more optimistic over reaching an agreement than before. The club would like to close his continuity this month. The duration could be 3 years plus 1 optional year, which basically means that his contract may be until 2024 and possibly, if they do want to extend the contract, up until 2025. And if you guys were to ask me, is this the correct move or should Barcelona look for another world-class right winger? I would say this is the correct move. I think that Dembele being at Barcelona is exactly what Barcelona do need. And I'm loving the fact that this player, Dembele, is making the strength and he's showing the sacrifice on wanting a lower salary only to play at this club. He backs Barcelona just like how Barcelona do back Dembele. And when we were watching that match between Barcelona and Dinamo Kiev, you can see that when Dembele was on the field, the attack looked much more fluid. The pace of the attack was much better. He did stretch Dinamo Kiev's defensive line by a lot, which did lead towards Ansu Fati and Memphis Depay highly benefiting from that. And overall, he was just adding a different dynamic, which is exactly what Barcelona do need. Like, I know many of us like to ask, what exactly do Barcelona need in that front three? And for some reason, every time Dembele goes on there, no matter what he brings, you can just have that feeling that this is the player that Barcelona need. This is the player that they were missing. That is Dembele. And what excites me the most about this player is his dribbling, right? His ability to dribble past players very quickly. Like, every time Barcelona is in a situation where it is Memphis Depay, Dembele, and Ansu Fati versus 5 other defenders, Dembele is that player to take down 2 players, and now you're on a 3 versus 3 advantage. And it is safe to say that the best dribbler in Barcelona, if everyone was healthy, whether it's Memphis Depay, Ansu Fati, Dembele, Youssef Demir, Ricky Puig, Frenkie de Jong, Pedri, if everyone is 100%, the best and most effective dribbler for Barcelona, that is going to come down to Dembele. So as things currently do stand, seeing where Barcelona is and what Dembele could provide, the renewal of Dembele, this young Frenchman here, it is going to be just as important as Pedri's renewal and Ansu Fati's renewal. So whatever does happen regarding the renewal, any new brand new updates, we are going to be talking about it here in this YouTube channel. So now let's move on towards the next topic of today, and we are going to be talking about Xavi Hernandez. And it does say here, these are going to be the latest updates, that Mateo Alemán and Rafa Yuste have landed in Doha. They'll soon be meeting with Al Saad's officials to finalize the arrival of Xavi Hernandez as the new coach. Now keep in mind, if you guys are listening to this video, right, if you guys are watching this right now, within the first hour that it has been published on YouTube, Xavi Hernandez is currently coaching his last game. It is first place versus second place within this game. I think that by this time the game should already be wrapped up or maybe even finished, so make sure to check up on that to see the scoreline, whether Xavi Hernandez won that last game or not. And another very interesting report did pop up earlier today, because this is a report that we did speak on yesterday, and it was about how how Xavi Hernandez was going to renew with Barcelona until 2024, and at that time I was saying how we should take this with a grain of salt. Let's not believe this report yet, but now we do have a very reliable source and journalist who has stated the exact same thing, and he has stated that Xavi Hernandez's contract at Barcelona will be until 2024. So now we do have a very reliable source confirming this news, and now we're having many journalists confirming the exact same thing. So now we can be in a position, right? Now we can say that yes, there is a possibility that we might see Xavi Hernandez sign his contract with Barcelona until 2024. So it could be a 3-year deal. It's going to be very similar to what happened with Club, hopefully, right? It is going to be short in the very beginning, a 3-year deal, but then potentially extend the coach's contract for another 4 years, which is what Club did with Liverpool. And many did expect Xavi Hernandez to sign a 5 to 6 year deal immediately, but I can get why Barcelona do not want to go in that position yet, because Joan Laporta's Barcelona do want to be very careful. They want to be acting like this situation is very delicate, because we do not know if Xavi Hernandez is going to be delivering the results that is necessary for Barcelona. What if things don't go as planned? So it does make sense in the end to give this amount of years. It is a reasonable amount. Then we do have further updates coming from Moises Llorens that Barcelona is hoping to announce and finalize the hiring of Xavi before the end of this week. We also do have another very interesting thing that did happen earlier, which was the wife of Xavi who has posted on Instagram, and she has stated that we will miss you, but we will come to see you wherever you are, which is basically hinting at the fact that Xavi Hernandez is ready to leave Al Sadd and move to FC Barcelona. So things are happening, the movements are taking place, and this is where I slowly do want to transition towards Xavi Hernandez speaking about Dembele, because Xavi did have an interview that was released yesterday coming from Ada, but this interview did not actually happen yesterday. It did happen about a few weeks ago, but it was a coincidence, right, to see Ada basically release this whole interview yesterday. I think that it was great timing. Maybe it is just great marketing coming from Ada, but basically Xavi Hernandez was speaking about Barcelona, Busquets, and most importantly Dembele, which is what we are going to be discussing, because he continues to show that he highly does admire this player, but he would admire this player even more if he is given the correct attitude, if he is also given the correct work rate. Because let me tell you, the amount of high praises he has been giving towards Dembele over the past few months, it has been immense. But this is what Xavi had to say about Dembele. Dembele is a young boy who can mature. He must be required to do so. He has the ability to improve to be one of the great footballers at the moment, but it depends on him. There must be rules in the locker room, but the player's mentality, it is crucial. So notice the main theme that Xavi Hernandez has put out in this statement. It is the mentality. Like, he believes that for Dembele, in order for him to improve and to become one of the best footballers in the world, keep in mind, really pay attention to what Xavi's saying here, one of the best footballers in the world, his mentality is going to be the most important thing and the most important factor. And Xavi Hernandez has always been a very big fan of this whole thing when it comes to the mentality, because he even said before Pep Guardiola took over Manchester City, he said that Guardiola is going to be changing the mentality for the EPL. Because of him, the EPL is going to have to keep up with his mentality. So he has always been a fan, which does make sense, because why else do you think Liverpool won against Barcelona back on 2019 when they won 4-0 at Anfield? It is because of the mentality. They had the capability to believe that they could come back from a 3-0 loss from Barcelona. And there has been stories before, right? We have talked about this before, where Dembele did encounter an injury back on 2018 or 2019 or 2020, and immediately after that we have heard that Dembele was having anxiety. He always had panic attacks on the field because he was always afraid of getting injured again, and every time he did get injured again, he was going through some sort of depression. And I do believe that that is why Xavi wants to come into Barcelona and reinstill the confidence, the mentality, the winning mentality, especially into Dembele and the rest of these players. Not just Dembele, but for the rest of these players, to make them believe that if they're 100%, if they believe that they can be one of the best in the world, they will be one of the best in the world. So this is very interesting coming from Xavi Hernandez, and I cannot wait to see this moment happen for Xavi to be at the Camp Nou and coach these players, to give them an awakening to understand how football should be played. But whatever news does happen regarding Xavi's arrival to Barcelona or Dembele's renewal, we are going to be talking about it here in this YouTube channel. That is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona daily news. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.